So gear doesn't matter. You've seen people say that as they film with their cameras that will cost you your liver. But you can't shoot a film without a camera. That's gear that matters. So while gear does matter, we should remember that gear isn't everything. Hey everyone, I'm Ruben Liu and I'm photographer, video producer and digital creative based in Malaysia. I'm a creative lead in an advertising agency and run a production house at the same time. My aim with this channel is to equip budding creatives to kickstart their journey and carve out a space in this industry. If that resonates with you, do consider subscribing. Today, I'll be sharing some of the essential budget tools that leveled up my filmmaking game without breaking the bank. Most of these items paid for themselves within 2 to 3 drops, and they are mostly no-brainers to pick up. So let's jump right into it. So, my favorite camera makes another appearance in my videos. Of course, if you want to start making videos, you're going to have a camera. And while camera phone technologies have improved over the last few years, I still think a dedicated camera is more versatile and important for those wanting to up their video game. To me, the M50 and the newer M50 Mark II are the best bang for buck cameras available for those wanting to start in video production. You can check out my thoughts about it at the cards above, probably right here. It shoots standard 1080p up to 60 frames per second, which is adequate for those wanting to try out the classic slow-mo B-roll shots that you always see on YouTube. And it's affordable enough to start video shooting. Personally, when I picked up this camera 3 years ago, right here, this camera right here, I paid for it after 2 drops. If you're not interested in the Canon EOS M50, then here are some of the specs you need to look out for when picking up your camera for your video production. You should have a minimum 1080p resolution. 4K to me isn't a must-have at this point in time. Up to 60 frames per second, so you can at least slow-mo if you need to. Interchangeable lens mount for versatility and upgradability in the future. Audio input. In-camera audio is quite sad. And also a very angle screen so that you can shoot in different environments. You should also have good autofocus, unless you want to do things manually. Next on the list, the Boya BY-MM1 shotgun mic. People often say that audio is just as important as video. Boya has recently been killing it in the budget audio game with their Boya BY-MM1 shotgun mic. This small mic picks up good enough audio for run-and-gun situations, and at such a price, it's quite a no-brainer. Here's a little mic test for you to hear its quality. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Boya BY-M1 Lavalier mic. Another audio accessory from Boya is their BY-M1 Lavalier mic. Don't ask me about the naming convention, I'm equally confused as well. This mic is great when you need to capture clear audio in a slightly noisier environment. It connects to your camera via a 20-foot long cable, you can see right here. It's currently the mic I'm using to film this video, but here's a comparison to the shotgun mic. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I also own the Boya M1DM lavalier mic, which allows me to mic up to 2 people at once. It's great for 2-person interviews. The Canon EF50mm f1.8 STM lens. Fast glass, which are lenses that can open wide, are an essential part of the filmmaking kit, but they can often set you back a few $1,000s. Thankfully, there's a nifty 50 lens from Canon that won't make you cry. The 50mm focal length is also a great focal length to give you nice shallow depth of view. The build quality isn't great, but you can't really complain with this price. If you bought the Canon EOS M50 Mark II, you'll need to add on the EF-M to EF converter, and if you're shooting with an R mount lens, there's the RF version to consider. For the majority of my first 5 years of shooting, this 50mm was my go-to lens for most of my things. Next up, the Godox SL-60. The Godox SL-60 is a steal for the price and the quality it produces. I'm using it right now to light myself, and in most cases we use at least one on set. While it has a fixed white balance, it's powerful enough to light up a room. One thing to note, that it is a wired light, so if you plan to shoot in various locations, you'll need to ensure that there's a plug point nearby. Next up, a tripod and monopod. I've been using my Benro tripod for almost a decade now. It's definitely seen some better days, but it served me well. Unfortunately, it's discontinued, but the Benro slim travel tripods look similar enough. Yes, I know it's a photography tripod, but as someone who doesn't really do panning shots, it really hasn't affected my work at all. I bought it mainly because I wanted the versatility to swap to a monopod whenever the situation called for it. It's also important to get a tripod with a universal plate, like the Arca Swiss or Manfrotto plates, because using plates helps smoothen the entire video making process. The last thing I want to introduce you guys to is the SSD storage. I used to edit everything through my internal computer storage, but I end up with limited file sizes on my computer. I recently started purchasing solid-state drives to edit current projects, and when those are done, I throw them into hard drives for storage. SSDs might seem pretty costly at first, but their speed helps make the editing process smoother, and I think they're worth the sacrifice. I currently use an Orico 512GB SSD for most of my editing work. But you can always check out other brands around your area. So in conclusion, like I said at the very beginning, gear isn't everything. At the heart of the video, there's the story. And at the end of the day, gear is just a tool to get the story made. The important lesson in filmmaking is to start. We all start from somewhere. Some of us had the opportunity to start big with expensive gear. Some of us had to start with budget gear and move our way up. I moved from my Canon EOS 60D to my Canon EOS M50, and now I primarily shoot on the Canon EOS R. Occasionally, I get access to nicer gear. But to me, that's not my focus. While it does feel nice to have bigger cameras and equipment, my focus is to tell the story. I still shoot with my M50 from time to time. The important thing is to have a strong foundation and buy equipment that can scale with you so that you do not have to waste a ton of money when you're changing gear. I stick with the Canon system of cameras because my lenses, batteries and accessories are Canon-centric. I need the Godox lights because their light modifiers utilizes the Bowen's mount system, which many other factories use as well. We all start from somewhere. My production house, Roundtable Studios, didn't start in a day. The studio is a culmination of years of lessons, mistakes and gear acquisition. So don't feel pressured to have everything before you start. I built my kit over the years, I've made some bad purchases, but the important thing is to learn, adapt and grow. I hope you found this video helpful. A little disclaimer to get out of the way, while I am a Canon EOS Youth Ambassador, I've not been commissioned by Canon to make this video and they had no say in the production of this video. If you have any questions, do leave them below and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Do like this video too if it brought you value. That's all I have for today. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.